Skinamarink is a highly touted horror film. Came out at the end of 2022. It's a Canadian film. Budget of $15,000. A lot of hype. I didn't know anything about this movie. My coworker is a fan of weird horror films, so he recommended this to me. I heard about it. He saw it. It's on Shudder, but I rented it from a video store. This one is about two kids who wake up in the middle of the night and their father is missing and they're trapped in the house, and parts of the house disappear, like the doors and windows, and they're trapped in there. And it's sort of like the two kids is just dealing with that and sort of just waiting for things to happen. This movie is a very art house film. You know, there's a lot of shots of just the television, the floor, walls. You know, you really don't get the story until about half hour into the movie. I didn't like this movie at all. I understand that it's like limitations of the budget. This was filmed in like Alberta or something, in a house, you know, with actors, but you don't get to see the actors. It's all just static shots, like Bellatar kind of shots of just like the TV playing cartoons, or like some Legos on the floor, or this, that, you know. And there's like 2 or 3 really creepy scenes, and you know, they are effective, but you have to wait for them. And this felt like it could have been a better short film, and they just padded it out because the movie's way too long. It's like an hour and 40 minutes. It doesn't need to be that long. It could have been like 20 minutes shorter, you know, just reaching screen time threshold. But you know, it effectively builds up an atmosphere, but you can't have an entire movie just be atmosphere. You need to have like something going on. And maybe with a bigger budget, this film could have been a little bit different. I feel like, you know, the more mainstream version of this movie would have been like, you know, found footage of like a birthday party, introduce the kids, the father, the mother, and then have the stuff happen maybe, you know, 20 minutes in, and then you sort of panic a little. But the problem with that is, if you start off a movie with that much production value and having like a birthday party and like decorations, extras, people are going to expect that for the rest of the movie. So this movie sort of subverts your expectations by just having like static shots, and like this is an art house sort of avant-garde kind of like, you know, minimalist movie. And you know, they throw in some subtitles because you can't hear anything because the audio is that bad. And they go for the grainy aesthetic. I didn't like that either. I didn't like anything about this movie. I didn't find it scary. I appreciate what it did, but sometimes there are budgets to limitations. You know, like I could go get some people and pay them, and you know, have a dude in a mask run around chasing people in the forest for a cheap slasher with red paint, and it won't look good. But just making it isn't enough to, you know, make it, you know, worthy. You know, like we live in a more digital age where you can film stuff on iPhones, you can film anything now. Just because a movie exists doesn't mean it's good. You know, like you just have to reach a certain screen time threshold and allow marketing to push forward. So I don't like Skinamarink. I don't respect it, and I gave it a 0 out of 10.